So BattleBit's last and free public playtest is upon us, or was upon us, until the servers literally had a Chernobyl level meltdown because the game broke its previous maximum player count record, because once the servers went online, nearly 25,000 people all converged on them. And this led to thousands of people reporting disconnection issues, getting kicked from matches by anti-cheat, which some people suggested to just outright disable anti-cheat. And once people actually did join a game, they were either kicked or a hotfix was released. I even stayed up till 1 AM to play it because I was excited all day for it, and 20,000 other people had the same idea, and the servers simply could not handle it. And as a result, I saw people threatening the devs or even just saying some hateful things, which I'm just gonna come off right off the bat and just say, if you harass the devs over a free public playtest, it's kind of just so stupid. You should chill out a little bit. But I'm not gonna sit here and dismiss people's frustrations, because a lot of people, including myself, were waiting months for this playtest to happen. But thankfully, it has been moved to a later date, and it's much better that something like this happens during a free public playtest, because none of us, or most of us, probably don't have money in this game except for Patreon backers, including myself. And if you remember a game called World War III that released a couple years ago, the servers were just having a mental breakdown, and people had actual money in the game, and the player count just drastically dropped as a result, which is fair enough because you have money in the game, and it was an official release. But it was 4 AM and I was just drinking my ouzo and just watching the Discord blow up with people complaining and saying that the game is over, and you also have people defending the devs and the mods working on crowd control. It honestly was something truly to behold. Hopefully over the next couple of days the servers do eventually sort themselves out and we can play the game, because the hype surrounding it has just been tremendous the last couple of months. But enough talk about the servers, let's move on to what we can expect in this playtest. And for starters, it says that you have to like and subscribe. Secondly, the amount of people on my last BattleBit video that didn't understand the concept of pre-recorded gameplay. No, I don't have access to some super top secret YouTuber servers. This is pre-recorded gameplay. But in all seriousness, we can see the implementation of new content, bug fixes, some reworkings, but I know that you guys want to hear about the vehicles, and there hasn't been much changes to them, and there is still your cars, tanks, and APCs. There are no flyable vehicles at the current moment, but with the new squad leader mechanic, we can see an icon for air support. And speaking of squad leaders, they can now build things such as sandbags and walls, and no, the squad leader doesn't rearrange the atoms in the air and it just materializes in front of you. You actually have to build it, but you also have the ability to deconstruct it. Now, being the absolute filthy, dirty sweat that I am, me and a couple of squad mates, we fortified ourselves in a camping spot with our snipers, and we were able to just infinitely revive each other until we ran out of ammo. I personally like the building feature in Battlefield 5, and I don't know about anyone else, so it's good to see something similar here. I also want to know what kind of offensive abilities we'll have. If I get a 25 kill streak, you know, I hope I'll be able to get a nuke, but I'm obviously kidding. But there is the Russian and the American factions, so maybe seeing a difference between the specialist abilities would be nice, because maybe if I'm playing as the Russians, I can't call in an A10 strike, so instead maybe an SU-25 comes in and bombs the shit out of something. And especially with the destruction mechanics in this game, it'll definitely be something nice to see. But the game sees the addition of the FAMAS and MP5, and if you know me, you'll know that I do have some prejudice towards bullpup weapons. And fun fact, someone told me to touch grass for saying that exact thing. I'm obviously being sarcastic. But in all seriousness, the FAMAS is a French designed gun, hence why it looks the way it does, but it does fire 5.56 ammo. And I did find that it has some kick to it that I'm not really enjoying, even when I put a bunch of attachments to it to sort of mitigate this recoil. We can also see the addition of the MP5, but it's from West Germany and it fires 9mm ammo. And the gun has a nice rate of fire, but I personally don't like to use the submachine guns in this game. I'm more of an LMG person because they're not too clunky, or as clunky as you'd think they'd be, and they're decently accurate, and you just have an insane amount of ammo to be able to pump into multiple squads and take them down. But speaking of the destruction mechanics, they have been updated and it's so cool. One thing I absolutely hate about Squad is the indestructible walls, which can make driving a pain.
Don't back. Oh, what the?
Thankfully, in this game, most walls can easily be driven into and broken down into smaller blocks. Windmills can now be destroyed as well, apparently. The one in the training range doesn't actually get destroyed, but it says it in the patch notes, and I wasn't able to test this out when the servers were up. But I think it would be pretty cool to see some levolutions in this game, because most of them were pretty good in Battlefield 4, except for the one on Siege of Shanghai. I mean, the levolution itself is pretty badass, don't get me wrong, back in 2013 having a fucking building collapse, but admittingly, it does destroy the actual actual map, and this is why people prefer that it destroys towards the end of the match, because otherwise the map is a little bit messed up and not as fun. There have been adjustments made to VoIP. The structure has been improved, and God knows what that means. I don't know what it means. It's just the structure has been improved, but you do have the ability to turn local and team VoIP off, which is fair enough, because even though I love proximity chat, because you meet some absolute specimens.
Anybody want to get on a windmill?
Yo, I got him. Headshot. You got a nade?
What's up,
Grenade on the
grenade?
other side of the ramp. Grenade! Hey, dude, I unlocked the flashlight.
Oh shit! Ah, come on, like a bitch.
And the satisfaction of wiping out a whole squad and hearing them is thrilling.
Oh no, that was an enemy.
But obviously some people might find this stupid and not want to participate in it, especially since there is a suicide vest in the game. Like, we've all done this in Battlefield. Come on, we put C4 in a quad bike and we drive it into a tank, and then we spam chat saying, you know what we spam, but running into a horde of enemies while speaking this thing over local chat and then blowing yourself up is something that I'd find hilarious, but obviously my sense of humor is a lot more immature and childish. But in all seriousness, I sympathize with a lot of people who are upset that they won't be able to play this game over the weekend, especially since at the current moment of me recording this, there's no certainty of when the next playtest will be. But I'm personally a little bit happy. Like, I'm not happy that it happened, but I'm happy that it happened now, because if it had to happen, better now than when people actually spent $15 to pay for the game. But yet again, I don't know how you could have possibly prevented this, because I knew that this was going to be the playtest. Like, this was gonna fucking break records, because the last playtest had around 19,000 people, and after when that playtest happened, you had YouTubers making videos. Jack Frags even made a video on it, and really all you had to do was just request access, and they're just handing it out as long as you don't have a new Steam account. So it was going to be the playtest. But nonetheless, hopefully at some point in 2022 we will see a final and full release of the game. But I also want you to check out the video that is on screen, because it will definitely interest you. But anyways, my name is Tantu. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, because if you did, please do consider leaving a like, subscribing, sharing the video with your friends. Anyways, my name's Tantu, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.